This episode of NOLA Film Scene is brought to you by the Law Office of Janet McCaffrey. Welcome to NOLA Film Scene with TJ Plato.
I'm TJ.
And as always, I'm Plato. We're live.
Is this thing on?
You know what we're live with?
Episode number 100. Can you believe it? 100.
Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to have faith, and I'm going to believe that this is our 100th episode. Who'd have thunk we could put up with each other that long?
Well, you know, they say the first milestone is 10 episodes. If you're going to give up, it's usually before the 10th episode. And then after that, it's 100. So this is
our last episode. No, wait, what? Huh?
I mean, if there may be one or two more than that if you count a couple of little short ones where we advertise something, but actual episodes, this is number 100. 2.5, almost to the day, 2.5 years it's been.
Yep. And we are here with our special guest, Tori Register. And Tori, tell our folks what you're known for.
Hey, thank you for that introduction. I'm about to say, you guys are going to be like the Mike and Ike. You're going to have your 100th episode, and then you're going to break off, create your own little podcast, and then come back together at the end, just like the candy. But as mentioned, my name is Tori Register, and I am the assistant producer of the 48-Hour Film Project New Orleans. The 48-Hour Film Project is one of the biggest filmmaking competition in the world. So we do it in different cities. We have one here in New Orleans. I am the assistant producer. Bill Rainey is the city producer. And essentially, you come together with a team of filmmakers, and you create a film in 48 hours, right? Shoot, edit, and send it in. And then we also have a couple of awards we give out. We do a big premiere screening, and it's just a whole fun-filled weekend of adrenaline-filled fun.
It really is a whole event.
Yeah.
From the point the filming ends and then the premieres, the award shows, it really does feel like a real film event. And making those, I think I've done 3 or maybe 4, and they've all been a lot of fun. And because it's such a compressed schedule, you have to get everything done in that window. You learn a ton. You learn from mistakes from previous ones, and you have people that have done them before and make mistakes. What are some things that you've seen, Tori, that people make mistakes on that could get you disqualified?
Disqualification.
Yeah.
There are some big ones. So as a filmmaking competition, we obviously do have a big set of rules. And because we are a competition that happens in one weekend, we do have a couple of things that make us a bit more unique than other ones. So for example, one of the things that we do is when you go to make your film, you pick a genre. You pick 2, actually. And from those genres, you have to base your film around said genre. So if you don't stick with your genre, you're disqualified. You're also given a prop, a line, and a character that you have to use in every film. If you don't use those, you're disqualified. You also have to make your film between 4 to 7 minutes. If you go under, your film is not eligible for awards. If you go over, your film is also not eligible for awards. However, you are still eligible for our audience award. So essentially, we do a second round of voting to where we go to the Broad Theater and we show all the films that got voted during our premiere screening, the top 12. And those ones are eligible to win what we call our audience award favorite. So it's a very big deal. Other disqualifications would pretty much include like graphic nudity, things that we find just aren't appropriate for a general film festival, anything that's like X-rated. But it's mostly meant to be a very lenient, very creative process. It's for beginners and pros. It's for people to mix together, to find others that they can learn from. It's just a very fun time all around. You two would know, you have both been a part of it. And then this year, I know that there's something special that we need to announce, of course.
Drum roll, please.
Here we go, drum roll.
Who's saying it? Am I saying it? Are y'all saying it? Who's saying it?
Yeah, go ahead.
NOLA Film Scene is sponsoring the 48! Woo!
Yeah.
Which is something we are obviously very grateful for, because the 48 does take a lot of work and effort to put into. We come out of our own pocket for it majority of the time. So having y'all be able to help us with it is an amazing, amazing opportunity for us.
Yeah, thank you. Because there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, y'all have the step and repeat banner. You have a professional photographer there. You have to get the venue 2 different times, 2 different venues.
We provide complimentary food and drink during the event. We have an actual program that we give out to show what teams have participated, what films they are going to be premiering for us. We also do our best to get out t-shirts during the event. So, for example, I'm wearing one from last year. It was our 19th annual. This year is going to be our 20th annual, which is also very exciting.
Wow.
So it's all just, it helps a lot having y'all be able to help sponsor us, along with all of our other sponsors who come in to help put on the 48.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We are going to be advertised in their,
Yes.
I would say paper products, in their programs. There's a P word in there.
Program.
There you go. And then on the social
Words
media.
are hard. I get it.
Yeah. I got
All the
brains.
words, very hard.
Yeah. And
We should
I was
speak like
thinking we could do
caveman
some
again.
Special things. We're live. There's no retake. There's no.
That's right.
That's
No redos.
I talk for a living. So anyway, but also we're going to do some social media. Both of us will be promoting each other and together, and we're going to try to get some. We've interviewed other people who have done the 48. Well, we're going to get some new people in, and so we're looking forward to pushing this to help people register for it. And registration is open right now and goes to.
So actually, we have 3 different tiers of registration going on. So right now we
Ooh.
have early bird registration, which is at a lower rate, and that is going to be ending May 21st. So if you're hoping to join the 48, you need to be doing it now at a much different rate than it would be going on. So right now is early bird, and then after May 21st, it'll be regular, and then after regular, it'll be late. So the prices go up as it gets closer to kickoff weekend, which will be June 12th through the 14th.
Ah,
Excellent.
that'll be here before you know it. But you know what that means, Brian? With us sponsoring this event, that means we can't be in the 48 this year.
Wah, 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 wah. We can't be in it. And our friends can't even make a joke and mention NOLA Film Scene. They can't mention either one of our names. Not that anybody would. I'm talking to you, Matt Carroll.
They might. They might. I mean, I'm pretty popular, you know.
In our 48, Matt made that because it was like a lawyer thing, right? Oh yeah, I worked on the Plato case.
That's
In
right. I
Waiting for
remember
Guitar.
that.
Yeah,
That's
I wanted. I was like, that sounds so much like the Clay. I wanted him to go. I'm working on the Plato case. Like, give it a little French. So we had a little debate by that. So that's our rules, But if someone contacts us, we can direct them to. I'm not doing it, but if you go to the 48, if you talk to Tori, there are ways to get into other teams. If we have friends like Matt and he's looking for people, oh, my friend Billy Bob. So we can do that. That's not being prejudicial like that. But there's also events, meet and greets coming up, right, Tori?
So we are still in the process of scheduling them, of finding our venues. I can tell you right now, our first one will be held at the Emporium Arcade Bar on May 7th. We also have ones coming up at Morning Call Coffee Stand, at Turtle Bay, hopefully also at Celtic Studios. We are currently scheduling those coming up towards that kickoff event. I will also say if you also are looking for more resources towards learning about the 48, finding a team, or maybe forming a team, you can always go to our official 48 page, 48hourfilm.com/New Orleans. We also have a Facebook page, a Facebook group page as well. There are 2 different ones. I did not know there was a difference until this, which was very interesting to find out. I'm not very tech savvy apparently until I learn all these new things. We also have an Instagram page. We also have an X and a YouTube. Please go look into our X and our YouTube. I've been working very hard on those and nobody knows about them. Give them some love and attention.
We will share all those.
Yeah, and we'll link them in our video.
And I had someone reach out. They're a high school student and they're about to go into a film program. And they're like, what can I do? And my friend said, well, Brian could tell you everything. Brian can't tell you everything, but I'll share with you what I knew. And I said, you need to just do it in certain ways. If you can't find a team, I suggested the 48. And then that person has actually had vacation plans, so they couldn't do it. It was like, all right. It kind of means like, well, you don't feel very dedicated, but at the same time, we all have got to live our life, right? But then just go take your iPhone, go out, write a film, shoot it with your friends, and make mistakes, have fun. And that's really a lot with the 48 is jumping in. Even if if I wasn't acting, I don't have the film skills. I could go help with crafting. Get in there, get your feet wet, and see what the experience is like. And that's a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're good with your phone, lead your team. Film your stuff, have an idea. And you can't write anything beforehand, folks.
No,
Friday
you
night,
cannot
find
write
out-
your script beforehand. Don't even
Yeah.
try it. Because
You will
again,
get
you
in
need you need your genre, you need your character and your prop and your line. Don't try to make your script early in advance. It just ruins the fun.
Right.
And I
That's
will
right.
say, you mentioned about the iPhone and how if you don't even know how to really work in the film industry or maybe how to work on set, it is a great way to get into it. It's a great way to learn. And you don't need all the fancy equipment in the world. You don't need all the experience. It is about taking that step towards figuring out what it's like, about learning from people who have done it. And again, you could just take your iPhone and whatever else other equipment you have and just going out there and making a film. There is a filmmaker, for example, who a couple years ago, I don't remember the film she created, but she did it all on her own, one woman film on her iPhone, and she won majority of the awards that year. Because that's all it takes is just making a film that is impressive and is able to fulfill the requirements.
Nice.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. We have a couple voices in chat, but I don't have my iPad. Is that AJ? AJ said, yay, Tori's on. And LA Film Studios, Tori has been working really hard on the 48 this year. So
Thank
people
you.
know and they see what you do. Look at her blush.
I
Oh,
I
there
do
it is.
appreciate
I was
that.
on the wrong page.
Get on the right page, TJ.
I'm on the same page now.
Ooh, more word. It's not the gear. TJ, you read this one. I don't want to put my glasses on.
We'll be right back.
Have you been injured? New Orleans-based actor Jana McCaffrey has been practicing law in Louisiana since 1999, specializing in personal injury since 2008. She takes helping others very seriously, so if you've been injured, Jana's offering a free consultation and a reduced fee to fellow members of the Louisiana film industry. She will handle your case from start to finish. She can be reached at janamccaffrey@gmail.com or 504-837-1234. Make sure you tell her NOLA Film Scene sent you.
It's not the gear, it's the story. I've had students make great films using iPhones and CapCut. Yep. And these days, iPhones, the camera on your iPhone, I use my iPhone for auditions. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And iMovie comes with Apple too.
Yep, that's
So
right.
it's the editing software we're talking about for people who don't know.
And
so-
you can do a lot with the free version of CapCut.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's also
And
DaVinci that's free.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Before we interrupt you, do you remember what you were going to say, Tori?
All I was going to say is use your resources. It's all about
Yeah.
using what resources you have. And again, you don't need a fancy production. You don't need all the fancy cameras, the equipment, all the SAG-AFTRA actors in the world. Obviously, also, SAG-AFTRA is eligible to be in films as long as you do the correct paperwork, which is something to keep in mind.
Mhm.
But you don't need everything to be perfect Hollywood production. It's just about making a 48 film. And a lot of people who participate in the 48 understand that and know that. And that's what's the fun about it, is that you're all sitting there in a theater at the end of the day going, haha, you made that in 48 hours? Cool on you.
Yeah. And the way it goes, we've talked about it before. On Friday night, we all meet up at morning call, right? And then picking the genre is you pick the pieces of paper out of the hat. So you don't pick it, just that, it's random. And then everybody gets a character, a name for the character, and a prop that they have to use. They won't hand you the prop. They just, go get a wrench or whatever it is. And you have to make that part of the story. Doesn't have to be like, I got this magic wrench. Just as long as you show and use that wrench, you're qualified. But you still have to make the story. Like Friday night, you're writing the story. You can, let's say I had a house. I know somebody, they're like, you can use my house. I kind of know we can use that for a location. We can use green screen, whatever. But you can't say, I'm going to write this in the story. Gather your team, your actors, your crew. Then on Friday night, you get your writing team together. It could be everybody. It could just be a couple people. Film on Saturday. Finish up on Sunday if you have to. Edit it and turn it in by Sunday afternoon. You upload it. We don't have to physically turn it in, but I think you still can if you wanted to, right, Tori?
No, so everything is now digital, unfortunately. If we could do it physically in the future, I would love to. That is something I am working on at the moment, but that might be like 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But right now, everything is digital to help streamline the process because it's fun fact. After everybody does their 48, I go on to my own 48 journey of checking everyone's paperwork, making sure all the films can qualify for awards or at least can be screened in the public premiere screening. So it's honestly a very fun process. I love telling people that. It's like, I go on my own 48 process because I have to make sure everything is ready, because right after the kickoff weekend, it's like, bam, that next Saturday, we have premiere screening and everything has to be ready. And I put together all the films and the program has to be set and Step Repeat banner has to be ready and this and that and this and that. So it's like, I'm up for 48 hours, just like the rest of you. Here we go.
And a pro tip, get somebody to start the paperwork Friday night.
Yes,
have one
and please
person-
fill out your paperwork correctly.
Yeah.
For my sake and my health, fill out your
Waiting for
paperwork.
Cateau, I did it Sunday night. The film is due, let's say 7 p.m. It'll be 6.
It is due
8,
7 p.m. Yeah.
7 p.m. But the paperwork's due at 11 or 12.
It's due midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah.
And I had to take the rest of the night, and I'm contacting people. Hey, go on this, fill this out, sign this. And I had wasted so much time, like on Friday. Saturday, you're probably going to be too busy with it, making the film. But get as much of that paperwork. You can get your releases if you have to use locations. Make sure you do that on site. It's fun, but it makes you pull your hair out.
It definitely does. But it's definitely also being professional in that aspect. So while it's fun, you also definitely get to learn about the professional aspect of what do you have to do in film? How do I have to be responsible about this and that? And then it's fun because sometimes I look at the paperwork and I'm like, so you didn't list this person on your paperwork. I need you to now go back and redo it. And I send it off and then I have to wait there. And I twiddle my fingers and then I get it back and I'm like, okay, you still didn't do it. Send it back. And it's just fun because I get to also interact with the filmmakers. I get to learn about their experiences and everything that they got to do during their weekend.
Yeah.
And it's just honestly a very fun, building exercise and also getting to meet all these people because it's also about communication. It's about building a network. And then a lot of these teams also go on to then make films outside of the 48 to go then be a production company on their own. So it's all about just building a repertoire with people and having a fun experience. And then obviously you can then go take this 48 film and submit it to another festival afterward. So there's so many benefits to it that are just incredible to me. And I say that, as the assistant producer, I'm like, I still marvel at everything that's awesome about it.
Right.
Yeah.
If it goes to another festival, they have to keep the 48-hour logos on it for a year.
Yeah, for 1 year.
And do they have to ask permission from you before they go?
No.
As
long as they keep all of the logos on the film, they're fine to turn it in wherever they want to. And it, first of all, has to premiere at our screening. It can't go anywhere else until our premiere screening.
What I noticed LA Film Studios said, physically turn in. I remember the horrible Beyonce traffic year. So can you imagine on a Sunday, you finished up your 48, you're driving over there, and you can't get to where you go because of traffic.
Yeah.
Man, that would drive me out of my mind.
I can't imagine. So I was going to say a good resource is Michelle's book, and I'll link it in the episode. We had Michelle on, and Brian and I have both, we lost Tori. Brian and I have both had the opportunity to do a 48 with Michelle, and her process is really smooth. She gets the information on Friday night. They write Friday night. We film on Saturday, and they edit and upload on Sunday. And her book is How We Do a 48 Film Project, Tips from a Multiple Year Entrant and Sometime Award Winner. And it's a really, really good book. She breaks it down on how to do it efficiently, and her process really was smooth. It was a really smooth time on set with her. I wanted to ask you about the genre. I've heard people answer this two different ways with the two genres. The second one is optional, is my understanding. Does it give you any extra if you use both, if you work both of them in? Does it give you any extra points with the judges? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't technically give you extra points. It's obviously a fun way to say, hey, you did two genres. That's really, really amazing. But what it is that whatever genres you pull, you get two on a sheet. And that is mandated by headquarters. I know some people have been like, well, I wanted to pull two separate ones out, but we have to have two of them put together on a piece of paper. But when you pick that piece of paper and it has the two all in there, you can pick either one. It does not matter. Or if you want to do both. But in the end, it's just about what you're comfortable with, what you're able to succeed in that nature. So, for example, if you have like sci-fi and dance film. Let's say you're like, I don't have any dancers on my team. No one's going to be able to, put a little boogie in it. But I have a bunch of sci-fi props I can use. Let's go with sci-fi. Or maybe you're looking at your genres and going, you know what? I have someone who could put a little boogie in it. And I have an astronaut costume. Let's put it together. But as far as judges go, I can't speak for, if you get extra points. Our judges are completely separate from us as city producers. It's a totally different process. We don't have anything to do with who they choose for the winners. So it might get you bonus points in their eyes. It might just be up to what they feel. But at the end of the day, I think from an audience perspective and as someone who loves the 48, aside from being an assistant producer, I'm like, oh my God, look at you. You just did 2 genres. That's so cool.
Yeah. I was just curious. I've been on teams where we've done both and tried to work both in, and I've been on teams where we only did one. And I'm pretty sure I did one where we had sci-fi and dance. And I definitely pulled out the boogie in that one.
I want more
Yeah.
dance films. Shake What Your Mama Gave You.
That's right. You were in that one too, Brian.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my mute button got stuck. No, I didn't have to dance. That was Michelle's one.
Yeah.
Party.
I don't know if the second one was dance or not. It feels like it was because we definitely danced in it.
Yeah, y'all were dancing, and I got transported to the future to be. Well, I'll let y'all look that one up. I don't even know if Michelle's got it on YouTube, but I had the shiny gold jacket. I had the collar that was too small but lit up. And y'all were shaking your groove thing, and I was separate. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
Michelle's setup is so great. They have a projection behind them, and that's how they do their background.
Yeah, Dave builds it out in Unreal Engine.
Mm-hmm.
He builds out the virtual set the Friday night, and then shoot on Saturday.
Yeah, very cool. It's a mad dash. You know what I mean? Michelle is one of those directors who, plans out her shots. She knows what she wants. There are some directors like, I'm going to finish it by 9 p.m. or 8 p.m., whatever. I think that's great. Sometimes I think it's too fast. Right. Like if there's the important pivotal moment, take a few more moments on that. You know what I mean? Maybe take a couple more takes. But it's all about time management,
Yeah, for sure it is.
It's hard on the body though, especially when we're getting up older in our ages. By the time Sunday comes along, you earned your rest.
That's
Take
right.
a day off. Don't put it work.
No, this is 24/7, right? All this beauty. Can't take a day off from that. Tori, we like to talk to people about their histories, like how they got involved with things. And how did you get involved with the entertainment field, such as it is?
So I've always loved film. I'm sure everybody says that. I've always loved film, but I really have always loved film. I love creativity. I always have an active imagination. There's always some new movie playing in my head of what I want to create. And I'll never forget being in high school. There was a woman named Shannon Kitchen. She's actually participated in the 48 before. And I was volunteering at my local library, and she was in charge of my volunteer work. And I was talking to her how much I love film, and she said, you should be part of the 48-hour film project. I was like, what the heck is that? What are you talking about to me? And she was like, look it up. Here's the information. I've done it before. Do your research. And I looked up into it, and I was like, this is so intriguing to me, and I would love to do it. But unfortunately, I was a little tiny girl who had no friends. Nobody really liked me. No one was into film. So I never had the chance to participate in it. But I still loved film, and I always wanted to get involved somehow in the industry. I always knew deep down that if I never got into Hollywood or New York or Georgia or Canada, wherever it's happening, I at least wanted some sort of involvement. And during my sophomore year in college, I was scrolling through Facebook and I was trying to find some opportunities going on. And I was friends with Dean Franquez, who is the photographer for the 48. And I saw he reposted an ad for an internship with the 48 for someone who needs social media opportunities. And I was talking to my mom and I said, I don't know if it's worth it. I really need an actual job. I need money. I'm broke. College student life and all that. And she's like,
Right.
just go for it. You never know what's going to happen, because no one would hire me at the time because the job industry is also as worse as the film industry sometimes. So I said, okay, I guess I'll go for it. So I sent in my application. I said it probably won't even work out. Next day, Bill Rainey calls me. He says, I got your application and let's talk. What are your skill sets? What can you do? And I said, I'm really good with Canva and I'm really passionate and I'm willing to learn and I can do social media stuff. I did the social media for the UNO Filmmakers Club and for their film festival last year. Here's the page. Here's the things I can do. He said, you're hired. I'm like, great. Click. And so I started collaborating with Bill as just a social media intern. I didn't know if it was going to go anywhere past that. All I was doing was creating posts, sending them to him, getting his approval, putting them on Instagram and Facebook and going from there. And then as we got to the kickoff, I was talking to him and he was like, do you want to help go through the films and see if they meet all the requirements? And I said, sure. So he took one group and I took the other. And I sat there that night with the 48 and all the documents I need to check. And I'll never forget, as we were going through everything, right that Sunday, 2024, when everybody was turning in their stuff. And I thought, I don't know if this is something I want to stick with. I was having a lot of doubts at the time. I wasn't in a great mental place, and I didn't feel confident that this was right for me. And then there was a filmmaker that called. She was having trouble turning in her film. I won't name her, but she was having trouble turning in her film. And there wasn't much we could do at the moment, so we had to call headquarters because her total upload process was messed up. It was giving her a ton of trouble. And I remember I was on the phone with her. She was really upset. She was like, we worked so hard. And I was like, it's going to be okay. You worked hard. You've got to the finish line. Your film is going to get turned in on time. You're going to be eligible for everything. Don't panic. You worked so hard. You don't have to worry about anything. And I calmed her down. We were on the phone for 2 hours. And finally, I told her, okay, HQ fixed it. You're all good. And she was like, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I got off the phone with her. And as I was sitting there at like 2 a.m., still going through all the documents, I realized I was like, this is what it's about. It's not about, the awards or the accolades or getting the attention of, I'm the assistant city producer, or I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and brush off my shoulders, everything like that. I'm very dramatic. Can you tell I'm an ex-theater kid? It's about seeing people achieve something that is so beautiful and amazing and getting to be able to help people succeed in a dream that a lot of people don't go for and a lot of people feel that they can't go for. Especially at a time where there's so much uncertainty about the industry, I feel. There's a lot of people who don't know if they're going to be able to make it. There's a lot of people who have made it and are now still looking for a new job because people are trying to, move into Canada for the industry. We're moving into other states. We're still trying to rebuild here in Louisiana. And I find that it is so rewarding now as an assistant city producer. I was just an intern back then, but now as an assistant city producer to go there and say, you can do this. You can be part of something amazing, even though it might not seem like it at first, because you can turn in this film and send it to other competitions, and you can get this award at our competition, and maybe you could even go to Filmapalooza if you're the best film at our festival. You could go to Cannes Festival. You could do all these sorts of things. And even if you don't win a single award, even if you don't give it to a single festival, it's the fact that you still did it. And there's something to be proud of in that.
Yeah.
And so after that, I saw her at the premiere screening. We talked. She hugged me. I got to meet all these amazing people that I didn't even get to meet beforehand. And nobody knew my name. Nobody knew who I was. I had to introduce myself. I was like, you're the social media person. I was like, yeah, that's me. Because everybody was like, did Bill do that? I'm like, no, that's me. That's me on Canva at like 3 a.m. trying to create everything. Good old Canva, always saving me. And I'll never forget also, I'm at work because I got a job around the same time. So I was also struggling with that and still being in college. After our award ceremony, everything calmed down. Everything was done. I thought, okay, maybe I'll still be a social media intern. That's fine because I liked working with Bill. Bill liked working with me. It was all great. And I'm at work and he texts me and he said, I need to talk to you at my house for 2 hours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting fired. This is it. We're done. It's over.
Dun,
I go to his
dun,
house.
dun.
Right, dun, dun, dun. And he says, I want you to become the assistant city producer. Sign the contract. I'm like, here's me. You want a blood print as well? You want all my fingerprints? So I love being a part of this process. And then this is going to be my 3rd year. I haven't been as involved as a lot of people. I haven't been as involved as y'all have been in it, but I truly do love doing this. I think there's so much gratitude in being able to see everybody succeed in one way or another. And I'm probably like spitballing so much, but I truly do love the 48 so much. And I even love having my own little 48 challenge at the end of the day, trying to create everything, trying to put all the films together, making the award ceremony presentation, helping to make the programs, go to the venues, schedule everything, meet all these amazing filmmakers, encourage people to keep going. So there's just so much about it that I love. And it's funny because I'm about to graduate in May, and it's a very scary time for me because I don't know what's going to happen. Thank you. I don't know what life is going to bring me. I don't know what my future is going to look like. But I remember looking at my mom one day and I said, even if I don't become some hotshot director or writer, I'll always have the legacy of the 48, and that's enough.
Nice. LA Film Studio said Shannon's film Keith Flippin was awesome and the city winner a few years ago. I just
Awesome.
wanted to
I saw it too,
On
but
the chat.
Tori's on a roll. I'm always
Yeah.
interrupting.
I can
Your
be very
story.
long-winded sometimes.
No,
it's all good. That's what it's about.
We discussed this. I'm going to out you a little bit. You were a little nervous, but you're fantastic. Your energy was shining through. What I was going to say, your story is what we all talk about. Finding your tribe, finding your own personal niche. You told me you may not feel like an actor, but you're great at the social media, at the administration of it, of that part of it, which is a very important part of filmmaking.
Indeed, it is.
And that tribe is also finding connections, networking, So something's going to happen in the future. I don't know what it'll be. I don't even know what you want to be, but you're going to go up to some kind of production company. I'm putting that out in the universe for you.
Yeah.
Or start your
And
own.
AJ said Tori is an amazing supporter of all the 48 participants. She stays positive throughout the process and is always willing to help.
That is
I
true.
really do. I love seeing everyone be able to do what they want to do. And I mean, I've made mistakes. I mean, last year was such a massive learning experience for me because I took on more responsibility than I thought I was ever going to have. And Bill trusted me with that. And it was such an incredible thing to say, wow, like someone trusts me. Someone trusts me with this legacy. Because that's what it is. The 40 is a legacy. I mean, having 20 years of experience compared to everybody else, Bill as this amazing human being. And then I'm over here with like little 3 years and I'm like, you want me to what? You want me to do what? And I'm still learning. I have a lot to overcome, especially as a human being, as a professional, but I hope to keep learning because as everybody else is learning in the 40, I still learn. And I want to make it the best that it can possibly be. So I just want to keep going. I just want to keep going as far as I can, push it to the limits, and just hope for the best. And I want to support everybody as much as I can. Anybody can always contact me. I'm always available as best as I can be. Once graduation's over, I will be the utmost of available. Please contact me because I'll need something to do with my life at that point.
Excellent.
Maybe the three of us will do a film since we can't participate in the 48.
Ooh.
I know, and that's the big thing. I maybe one year I'll do my own little 48. Maybe I'll be like, someone else can be the assistant producer or whatever. I'm going to do a 48 for once because that's my big thing. I've always wanted to do a 48.
I've got a question for you. So one of my 48s was from Chicago, and we had a person there who did the physical, picked the genre, and we filmed it here.
Mm-hmm.
So you being part of administration of 48 NOLA, can you do a 48 in another city?
No. As far as I'm aware, no. I would not be able to, only because I know the inner workings. I think that gives me a little bit of a head on that.
Yeah.
I also just don't think it would be fair at this point if I were to participate still as a assistant city producer.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. I think it's still just
There.
the fun of seeing everybody else do it. I'll live vicariously through everybody else.
I'm going to hit you with one more. The 7 and 7.
No, I'm not allowed to participate in time-based competitions. That is in my contract. Fun fact, because fun fact, when I went to go sign the contract, even be an intern, I went to my film professor at UNO, James Rowe, because I was also helping with the UNO Film Festival at the time. And I slid across his desk and I said, "Am I supposed to sign this?" should I sign this? Is this like, am I going to get trapped in some like weird contract where they're going to like sell my soul to the film gods or something? He's looking it over and he's like, no, you're fine. Everything's fine with this. You can sign this. And I was like, okay, am I allowed to help with this festival? And he's like, yeah, you just can't do anything time-based. And I'm like, okay, great. Sounds good. I signed the contract and I sent it to Bill. And then when he asked me about the assistant producer, I was like, give me the contract.
LA Film Studios, which I suspect is Fiona, but I'm not totally sure about that. Brian and TJ, I'm in with y'all when you do your first film. When you do your film, not first, because we've done more. That's 4 of us, because we're going to pull you in, Tori. Because I'm going to find a way to get you in a film, and you're not only going to be behind the camera, you're going to be in front of it, too.
Horrible actor. My days of acting are over. Middle school me was a menace when it came to acting. High school me gave that up.
We'll talk.
If it helps, I can be first AD, second AC, and script supervisor all in one. I'm very great at that.
Awesome. You could be person ordering, I'll take my coffee. Coffee, please.
Here we go. Here we go.
My coffee. That's not mine. Redo my order. I want to see your manager.
No, it's Bob. It's Bob.
Oh,
not Fiona.
I'm sorry, Bob.
It's Bob.
We love you, Bob. I got my studios wrong. We've been interviewed by Bob. We've talked with Bob, and I forgot his studios. I guess I'm a menace in front of the camera, Tori.
We're under the pressure of the lights. It's the pressure.
I think it's just my brain is falling apart.
All right, Tori, tell us the socials where people can find the stuff for the 48.
I would just recommend looking up 48-Hour Film Project New Orleans. Also, go ahead and look up other 48-Hour Film Project cities because there are multiple. I think there's over 1,000 cities at this point. There's also 48-Hour Film Project headquarters you can look into if you want to learn more about the ins and outs of the 48. There's also the 48-Hour Film Project website that gives you more info about the rules, what is involved in the competition itself, more resources. You can always reach out to us at 48nola@gmail.com if you have questions. Look up our social medias. Just look up 48-Hour Film Project New Orleans on any social media platform. It should be able to find us. Or go to at least 48nola, which is on Instagram. And then under any post of mine, you will find links to all of our socials. So it should be easier that way at least.
And Bob, yes, I'm in. Absolutely. A better film editor you will not find.
Yeah, I love you, Bob. But I love Fiona, too. Yeah, I was going to say, I was thinking of live interviews at the 48 premiere, at the award ceremony. And Bob, I might contact him to help with all that because, we had talked about live things with him before. By our 200th episode, to give us some time, 200th episode, we will be doing live events. We will be on stage. We will sell tickets. People will come to see us, and we'll get Bob to help us.
That's after your Mike and Ike breakup.
I don't know if we'll be snow caps by then because we're gray.
Yeah.
Butterfingers because we dropped everything. M&M's, we've broken our hard candy shell. Y'all are making me hungry. We've got to stop this. Oh, man. So now that we've broken our diets with all that, yuck. Thank you so much for joining us, Tori. Thank you, TJ, for 100 episodes.
Yeah, Brian, it's been we're just getting started. It's been a blast, and we're just getting started.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk when TJ said, hey, you want to do the podcast? Yeah, I want people to hear my voice.
And AJ said Tori did a great job on the film that y'all met on.
Uh-huh.
Yes, AJ and I met on actually my first film that I ever did at UNO and in my life. So
if you can't find a way to talk to Tori, contact us. We will push you in that direction, help you find where the meet and greets are, get you on a team. We are so happy and proud to sponsor the 48 Film Project New Orleans this year.
Yes, indeed. I'm excited. Wisdom of the Dead, AJ said.
Cool.
yes, by Marshall Woodworth. He's actually a professor at UNO. And might I just say, as the assistant producer, we are incredibly honored to have y'all know the film scene as sponsors of the 48. I am really, really excited to see what we can do. I appreciate y'all even having me on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on, Tori. And folks, we will see you next time.
Bye.